Hello all, BL Carter here. Just popping in really quickly. I wanted to send you all love and light, and hopefully that you are doing well, working on the pieces to your puzzle. But just wanted to bring some awareness to a situation that actually has been going on, but it seems to have resurfaced with a vengeance, I guess you can say. Apparently there is some little something going around called the Momo challenge. First of all, I wanted to say with all these challenges that are on the internet, if parents, you haven't figured out by now, there's always somebody that gets hurt from these challenges. So it would make sense to me that you would have conversations with your kids about not trying them. I mean, we've seen it. The challenges, someone gets hurt, someone dies, all kinds of things going on with all these challenges. So have the conversations with your children. Teachers, if you're an educator, if you're a mentor, if you're a Sunday school teacher, a tabernacle teacher, whatever it is you are, whatever children you interact with, share with them, have the discussion about these challenges that are on social media, most likely YouTube or wherever they are. Apparently this Momo person or character or whatever it is, and I looked at it, I don't know what it is exactly, is embedding itself within the children's, children, not adults, children's games and shows and videos and things like that. Stuff that you would think is just, it's general audience, it's rated appropriate for them. And it comes up, and it's not a continual thing, but it'll pop up at various points. Apparently this little thing tells the kids initially, if you don't follow my instructions, I'm going to kill you. Or if you don't follow my instructions, I'm going to kill your parent. Something that kind of gets them scared and locks them into following the instruction. Or something like, you better not tell, because if you do tell, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your parents or whatever. So the kids are automatically captivated. They're automatically locked into a fear because they don't want their parents to die, or they don't want to die. And then the little guy comes back, or girl, or whatever the hell whatever it is, comes back periodically and says stuff like, okay, well, don't clean up your room today, or mess up your hair, or dump all the trash out. Little simple little things like that. That will get them in trouble, but it's just, just to get them to do it so they don't think too much of it when they're doing it. But over time, it increases the level of the safety level. Actually, the safety level decreases. The thing starts telling them stuff like, well, go turn the gas stove on while your parents are sleeping in the middle of the night. Or, stick a fork in the electric socket. Or stick a screwdriver in the electric socket. Or, take a razor blade and go cut your neighbor's kid. Or take a razor blade and slit your wrist. And this is how you do it, type of thing. And these kids are doing it. Apparently, there have been, from my last look, about 135 kids around the world that have actually died, and they're attributing it to this Momo thing. So, I say that to say, these electronics are not safe for your kids. If you cannot sit there and watch it 24/7, or not 24/7, but the entire time, start to finish, that your child is watching it, you might want to reconsider. If you're able to get some software, and what I did with my children is they had laptops, they each had a laptop. I bought the software, I downloaded it, and their laptops were not connected to any Wi-Fi at all, any internet at all. So they had no outside connectivity. I was able to see what particular games that they were playing. And most of my games were like math games, typing skills, things like that, educational stuff anyway. And there were some like I think The Lion King and Simba, that's Lion King, or some those kinds of videos, age appropriate for them. But I manually broke the internet connection on their laptops so that they could not reach outside and no one outside could reach them. And so they had laptop time, they had technology time that I would pop in and monitor, but I didn't have to sit there the entire time. And then when they had like TV time or other internet stuff, I mean, we love Meerkat Manor and a couple other things. I can't remember what all the stuff that they were into. But we did it as a family. It became a family event. If we were online and we were watching a video of one of these, one of the characters that was age appropriate for them, we were watching it together. And if there was a song to be sung, believe it or not, I watched it enough with them that I was singing the song too, and I was doing the dances too, and all the movements and everything else. Just because I wanted to be aware of what was going on these shows with my children, what they were being introduced to. And I understand that we get busy and we can't always do that. So here's a thought. Have conversations with your children. Talk to them when they finish having technology time. Talk to them about what they saw. What lesson did they learn in the particular video? At some point it might come up that little Momo done popped up in there on them. If you can somehow go with software or interactive activities that you can download and then turn off internet connectivity so that you can limit how much is actually coming into them to just the software package that you actually installed or downloaded to the device, that's great. And here's another thing with the technology. Besides Momo, you've got the EMF emissions. You've got all other kinds of subliminal messaging going on that your kids are seeing, because there are ads in most of the stuff that's online. There's going to be an ad. You don't know what that ad is going to be. It may not always be age appropriate. It may be something very unage appropriate. And I get it that there might be a pop-up that says, okay, you have to approve this, you have to approve that. But I've seen a 4-year-old little kid, a pop-up came up, and before I knew it, she had clicked the thing, and that was it. No reading, no nothing. She didn't say, Glammy, look at this and see, if it's okay for me to, she just clicked, because that's what she had been trained to do in her house. Obviously, when she came to my house, we had to do things a little differently. But then the other part of this is to the governmental agencies, to the YouTubes and Googles and Facebooks and WhatsApps and all the other people that are owning these softwares. If you all can censor everything else on your platforms, government, you can monitor phones, you can censor the media, you control the media. Facebook, you're censoring people's Facebooks, telling them what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. WhatsApp, YouTube, everybody's censoring everything having to do with pedophilia, LGBT, anti-Semitism. We're censoring all of that. Or we're censoring those people that may speak out about stuff we don't want them to speak out about. So here's my question. Why haven't you censored Momo? Why haven't you shut down Momo? Every avenue that Momo may be coming through, why have you not vigorously pursued those avenues and cut it off? It's just a question. I'm just wondering. We have some of the greatest security engineers, etc., etc. Well, here's another thought. If Momo only pops in periodically during the middle of a particular broadcast for kids, which my understanding is what it does. It doesn't play all the way through. It just pops up at various points along the way. You all haven't been able to capture that traffic. You haven't been able to trace route that back to where it's coming from. And trace route everything else. I bet you if I said something, against the president, just on my YouTube channel, y'all would find it. The daggone FBI would be at my door, the CIA, Secret Service, and everybody else would be at my door. And you'd be checking everything in my life from the day I was conceived until now. So if you can do that for that, that means the ability is there for little Momo. Why hasn't it been a priority? People getting hurt, to take someone, capture those packets, trace route those packets, or whatever you need to do to track that, where that's coming from. And go visit those people. See who created the software or the app, I don't know, you can almost call it I don't know what you want to call it. But who's behind it, Find them, deal with them. And then once you're able to capture the packets, you can reverse engineer those packets and see how it's operating, and then tear down its operation. You can put something in place. Norton, Symantec, McAfee, and everybody else can put something in place to disable it so it can't come through. YouTube, Google, all of them, they can run it and it won't be able to come through. But I guess it's not a priority. The children's safety is not a priority. I guess it's okay for little kids to have a little pop-up that tells them, we're going to be friends, and you better not tell your parents, because if you do, I'll kill you. And then it's okay for that little pop-up to come back, a couple days later, a couple hours later, whatever it is, depending on how long the child is on, and say, hey, you know what? Grab a razor blade and go slice your sister up. Or, go turn on the burners on the stove while your parents are sleeping. That's okay. All that's okay, right? But it's not okay to say something about the LGBT community. But it's not okay to say something about certain Jews in the world. It's not okay to talk about the president or something like that. But it's okay for these kids to have this stuff exposed to them or presented to them. Where is censorship when you really need it? Just a thought. Talk to you guys later.